Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right. I hit in my lab. I'm in one book. I'm in two books. I got some information from one book that's going to substantiate information from the other book. But two different books, but the information I'm going to try to time together to see how I can make this thing work. I got a little lesson here. One from this, and so I'm going to put two in one, see how that work out for you. Let's go, see if I can do this. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya, be true. Alright. Right thinkers, P Funk philosophy on what? Epilogue, death of your ego self. Now, we got a secret order, a Shimsus we call them, or Shita matter. I'm going to substitute it and call them right thinkers. This is the epilogue. This is a ritual that everybody dresses up. You see these guys right here? These are the four sons of Haru. This is Haru. This is your ego. This is Set. This is the guy he killed, which is his brother Asar. Okay? They got Set pinned to the wall. They taking care of him. Okay? Their grandfather, these is all his grandsons, his son, his grandson. They taking care of the ego. They're giving him his last rites. Destroying the ego. Kill the ego. Okay? And in Rome, the Roman and the Greeks got a story similar to this. They got it from us. This is the original. But I'm going to break down the four sons of Haru right quick. When you die, at the embalming of the body, the brain, throw it away. Don't even waste time with it. But they keep the inner parts, your liver, your stomach, your lungs, and your small intestines. They put them in jars, not the jars. Okay. They thought, and the reason they did the mummification, they got that wrong. I'll be the first to tell you, yeah, they wasn't perfect. They got that idea of the spirit coming back to the body way wrong. But that's what they believed at that time. That's what they thought. Okay, I understand the concept, but I know it's wrong. If I'm 100 years old and I die, and I come back, I don't want to come back to a 100-year-old body. See where I'm going with that? So that's the concept for mine. That's my point of view. All right, I go a little off every now and then. But the four sons, one name is Imset. He represents the liver. He has the man head. Okay, break them down for you. The first one is the man head, and he represents the liver. His name is Imset. He represents intelligence. Okay, is the one who leaves his brothers Happy, Duamatef, and Quebenef, who represents the animal forces in man. The liver has an important role. Did you know that? I know about the intricate part of the body because it is. What's this? The liver plays a important role, because it cleanses the blood and is directly connected to your ego, personality, okay, and the brain. So when death happens, those things are gone, okay? 1 glass of water with fresh squeezed lime juice. I've been hearing that remedy since forever. Thing in the morning is an excellent liver cleanser. If you taking prescription pills, if you on a pill regimen, that pill got to go through your liver. It got processed to the liver, and that's what gives you cirrhosis of the liver. Drinking alcohol, all those things overwork the liver and cause it to cirrhosis. Okay, they knew that. They took care of what? The liver. Pay attention. They drank the lemon juice daily to keep the liver functioning. And Duamatif, excuse me. He was the jackal-headed god, and he represents the decomposition of digestion. He's the stomach. The stomach has a brain, okay? Digestive transform what? Organic matter and to give life. Your stomach. It's got stuff going on down in there, okay? And thus, life comes from death. Woohoo! This is the seat of the sun, Ra, which is located where? In the solar plexus, midway through the body. I know about that too. Next one, Happy. He's represented by the baboon head. That's Tahuti, okay? He represents what? Through the lungs. He represents the lungs. In his life force, he's introduced to the body along with the air that we breathe. This air and life force then enters into the heart, lung, the trachea. You see that thing in the beginning? I gave you a lesson on the cover book of Egyptian yoga. They show you the trachea, the netter. Okay, that's part of that. And that means the heart and lungs become the one. You're breathing and the lungs expand and expand. Haru and Set represents the lung. They use the baboon. Okay, and the heart, watch this. We are, okay, the lungs. Okay, the lungs, yeah, life force. Okay, and wherein it is exchanged with the impurities within breath and life. Your lungs, again, intricate part of the body flow of the air. Studying these things, you learn about the body from a whole different perspective. They had it laid out. And the last son, the small intestines, he got the hawk head. Okay, that's the falcon. Quibanoff means he refreshes his brothers. That's the small intestines. The small intestines provide refreshment. How? By modifying the food material in order that it may be assimilated throughout the body. So each one of them had a role to play. They gave it identity. They gave it a life. They gave it identity right here, the four sons. And they all have roles to play in the physical body. They had this thing figured out a long time ago. I had to get that out the way. Now to get back to the epilogue, the death of the ego. The ego has to be dealt with. Okay? This is called, I call it street justice, poetic justice. When you did something in the hood, we didn't call the police. We came and dealt with you personally. Okay, quick story. We had a guy, Puerto Rican, he wasn't even black, Spanish people lived in the neighborhood, okay? And we don't know nothing about how Puerto Ricans, what they native, what they do, but he was whipping her butt. He was doing work to his wife. We didn't play that. We cornered him and we beat the cowboy brakes off his ass. I said, how you like that? Okay, how you like getting your ass whooped? Okay, that's what men do. You don't beat women. You want to fight? Fight men. There was a lot of us, but he got his ass whooped. But that's how we dealt with that. Guess what? He didn't beat his wife no more. Well, not around us. He's sitting there. We didn't have that problem no more. Sometimes stuff get out of hand. Everybody know your business, but we took that in the hood. That's what I call street justice. But with the epilogue, it's to showing you your ego got to be dealt with. That's what it's showing. So it says, in order to become a right thinker of a follower of Shitat Netta, you, the aspirant, you must become a member of what we call Shinsus. That's the four sons of Haru who took care of their grandfather and took care of Set. Okay, that was their job. The family. You call the family, yo, my man, we got problems. We had families back when I grew up. We had the Johnsons, the Germanys, the Clarks, okay? And these was all 4, 5, 6 brothers and sisters. The Onions, the Latin Project, I was with the Onions and the Gaines. Wherever you got 5 or 6 kids in the household, you got a crew. And then when it's time to fight, everybody turning out. That's how it was. No. If the family fighting, everybody in the family better come home scarred and battered. Okay, that means everybody was fighting. If you come home, your sister knows all bloody and she all whipped up, and you ain't got a mark on you, you getting your ass whooped. Why? You didn't get in the fight, obviously. So that was old school. That's just how we was raised. But in order to become a right thinker, you had to join the Shimsu. That means that's a congregation of converted devotees of Shita Netta, aka Egyptian yoga or right thinking philosophy. We do what we do, and we have rituals that we follow. Let me get to this right quick. So what is the philosophy of the Shims? There you go. Now let me break it down. Now I can get to reading the book. All right. But what is a Shimshu? A Shims is Shems. The Shims is the ones who follow. Shims mean to follow. To follow. Okay, right thinkers, y'all Shims. You following me. I get that concept. So Shimshu, right thinkers, or Shimsu Nettas are the followers of the right thinking or the Netarian path of enlightenment. What does it mean to follow something? And why should some things be followed and others not? If you're going the right way, I go to church and fellowship with Christians every week. I'm a Christian. I'm following the Christian document. When I'm in church. Outside the church, I'm a right thinker. I got the right to do what I do, but when I'm going to fellowship, I'm going to do, like you go to Rome, better put on the toga and some damn sandals. Why? Be like the Romans. So I understand how to acquiesce. That's the point. And you should learn that too. But what should be followed in life? And why should you follow? There you go. Teachings that will help you better yourself. That's what you should follow. A teacher who's authentic, real, and that you can trust is telling you the truth. A lot of you guys, y'all just believe them because they look good, they sound good, they got the good all stories. Yeah. But they full of crap. Why? They don't practice none of they teach. My man, I love him. My man, Alan White. He told you, I'm a fraud. What you mean? I talk with a good talk. I don't live none of it. Well, I get paid to teach it. I don't get paid to live it. I ain't mad at him. You can't get mad. If you following him, you got to realize he's giving you a philosophy that he learned and he mastered. He never said he lived it. I live this. I do this. So I know the difference between the two. I see a bunch of perpetrating pastors who talk that good talk and don't walk the walk one bit. And don't nobody hold their foot to the fire. Y'all giving these guys money and they ain't doing. I can't listen to a guy who ain't practicing what he preaches. My pastor, he lives that book to the letter of the law. Even if I don't agree with it. And a lot of stuff I don't. Well, I know better, but that's here. I respect the fact that he believes in that book, he followed that book, and I asked the question, why we don't use the Ethiopian Bible? Not a good question. Didn't go well. Moving on. But I had to ask the question. I got to ask, and now I'm like, they rumbling now. No, but if we black, King James is white, Ethiopian Bible is black, but we subscribe to the white guy. That's why I don't follow y'all. Hello, moving on. There's another reason why. Y'all didn't even follow the right stuff. They tell you the description of Jesus. Y'all got this white guy with stringy hair. Moving on, I ain't got time for that argument. That's a waste of my time at this point. I don't give a damn what color Jesus was. Personally, not a one bit, not one iota. Why? It's a myth. It's a story. It's an allegory. Learn the lesson. I learned a lot of Jesus' lessons. Yeah, I can learn from that. But I ain't saying he really existed. No, we ain't. Excuse me, I get excited. Sorry. We ain't doing that. Okay, it's a life lesson book, not a literal book. Y'all trying to make. If ain't nobody in that book that y'all love so dear, that King James version, ain't none of them got a grave site. That mean they didn't exist. Come on now. Back to the lesson. I'm sorry. If I don't have this, I start going. I won't stop. I have my classes. I have my girl. She will put me over. So back to the lesson. All right. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm sorry. Again, when you following something, you should ask these questions and you should get the answer that makes you comfortable following what you're doing. So, and these are certainly some most important questions in life. Why? Because if you're serious about what you're doing, that's why. They will involve your critical questions of life. And when you ask, who am I? Where am I? And why am I here? Those are life questions that you should be able to get the answer to from somebody who knows the answer. Because if you don't, that's why you're asking the question. You can't ask the question and answer the damn question. I hate people. Let me ask you a question. Then they ask the question, and before you can answer, they start answering it. Well, why the hell you ask me? You already know the answer. Why are you asking me? And you know you don't know the answer. Excuse me, that's annoying. But you should have those questions about you about to be involved in something, join something. I get that. So now, again, another one. What is my purpose? To know thyself. Come on, I can answer any one of your questions real simple for you. Which are or should be some of the most important concerns of anybody in life. This treaty suggests answers. Watch this. So they are offered from a perspective, again, somebody's perspective and concept of our ancient Egyptian concepts. Again, we're telling you the concept and perspective, and its intended teachings is to develop you to be a sage or Shita Netta African religion, ancient times follower and understanding of what you're following, this concept. And it says here, you say Tu A Am Shims in Nabercha. That's the hieroglyphic. That's the interpretation. Now in English, there's three of them that's written. It's in hieroglyphic, then it breaks down what it says, and then it's in English. It says that I am a follower of Nabercha, aka God. We have full understanding. Let's go. And it says, Shush in Keparu. Keparu, in accordance with the writings of Lord Keparu. That's the start of the concept of Shita Netta. Did that lesson a long time ago. So now let's get into the lesson. I said I got a few minutes. Let me rack it up now. So the answer to the important questions of life, that's what you want. Let's get to that. Was given by the sages of our ancient times. So we had the answers. We knew the answers. As followers and following what we call, you're on the spiritual path. You want to learn spiritual disciplines, yoga philosophy, intricate practice of yoga disciplines, but you're learning, and that's the path for spirituality. That's what we call the spiritual path. Even in ancient times, the spiritual path was known as Shita Netta. They knew what it was, and the teachings were given by the creator Keparu. That's the scarab-haired beetle. He represents being, coming into being. Sunrise coming into being, all conceptually. And it's understood when you follow it. But it's Keparu in the form of what? Outward appearances, shapes, and objects of creation. Lord Tahuti, Badu, he codified those into what we know as hieroglyphics. We call it Madronetta. The Egyptians and the Greeks called it hieroglyphic text. Okay, we know it Madronetta. Okay, and these teachings, we had teachings of God, how to get to God, how to serve God. Oh, we had all that. Why did it change? We didn't get to that right now, but we had everything we needed, and we were doing fine. Thousands of years in harmony with each other and in nature. We were the most spiritual people on the earth, as far as everybody who met us said. They God thing. They serious about God. So, and we're passed through what? Through history to succeeding generations. Right here, they gave us this knowledge and passed it down. Watch this. As the sage and the priests and priestesses of the Netarian religion, why is it important for you to become a member of Shita Netta tradition, and what does it mean to be a follower of Shita Netta? Spiritual teachings, right thinking we call it now. But if you are reading this, it's because at one time or another you have come to the recognition of the important work that's being conducted by those who are currently following Shita Netta, or I say right thinkers. All my right thinkers who follow me the way they do, they get the respect for how they live and what they're doing. Okay? And like this, for the betterment of themselves and, more important, humanity. I'm trying to teach, enlighten anybody who want to be taught or enlightened. I don't pick and choose. But as a man, I'm a black man, so I'm black. You understand that? And I got a problem with the white man. Understand that? Black is black, white is white. They never gonna come together. Okay, you got gray. I don't do gray. So understand that. I stand on what I am. Black, I ain't got no problem with that. White people stand on being white. That don't make me racist or nothing other than I'm a black man speaking to my black people. And if you want to follow what I'm doing, that's on you. But this is for my black people first. The 3 to 4 guys go to the mountain. White man, Puerto Rican man, Chinese man, and the black man. Puerto Rican man got this. This is for my people. Jumped off the mountain. Other guys, okay, this is for my people. He jumped off. Black man said, this is for my people. Pick the white man up, throw his ass over. Yeah, that's me. I'm the black man. Understand that. Don't get it twisted. Man, you can flip it any way you want. So if you're Puerto Rican and Chinese, whatever you want to throw in there, you can flip it. But the white man is always the one who can throw it over for your people. Throw his ass over. All right. But again, you promote your own what? Nihas spiritual awakening. Excuse me. Jesus. Yeah, sorry about that. Nihas, that's the idea of knowing thyself, becoming spiritually awakened, and emancipation, liberation, and more important, resurrection. In order to reach the state of consciousness known as Nihas, there must be first Nihas wakefulness. Being awake. Being awake implies wakefulness towards and understanding the teaching. That is attentiveness, listening, and spending time reflecting and studying and conquering the desires of the flesh, etc. for your spiritual pursuits. These are the things that you have to take control over, that you have to do for you. This means being mature enough to have grown beyond the childish pursuits and interests of the ego with the world ideas of life. Me, I, gotta have competition, competing. That's the ego. And it is easy to think that one is mature when one hears the ancient Egyptian proverb, searching for oneself in the world is the pursuit of an illusion. It's a lie. It's not real. But a lot of people continue to do it. However, why is it that these same ones who have heard and even agreed still continue to what? Pursue worldly illusions? Knowing better, so they say, instead of applying themselves fully to learning and mastering the teachings. They get a little bit, swear they got something, and they off to the races. Needing to have a job and support oneself or one's family should not be an important to intensive practice. That should be the normal. However, it will become an obstacle if the job or the career is your main object in life. If all you are stuck on your job, some people get caught up in that too. Everything's about the job. Got to get the job done. Got to do my job. Got to reach that. Okay, but that means you under the gun. Okay, that means you're not happy. But learning the teachings, they should be the main objective. Why? Perfecting and mastering oneself should be over a damn career. And the job should be a means of financial support and intensification of your daily practice of the teaching. You should have a way, a means to live. That's fine. But we must now conclude that until action follows the thought is cool. The idea, the thought process, but the thought is not being held as reality or even a priority. They come and go. Some you pick up, some you just let go. So there is too much insufficient maturity in such a person to pursue the true teachings and in an intensive and advanced way. They're not going to do what they need to do. They just ain't going to do the right thing. You know them people? In spite of hell, they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. So their choice and their actions always reveal their lower state of maturity and consciousness, egoism. And that lowers their aspirations to better themselves. They think they're all right. They think they're good enough. And they're not. Okay, but those people should follow at a level of practice that will include, listen, daily devotional practice, rituals, and the study of Maya, aka right thinking philosophy teachings. to develop what we call purity of heart. And until you reach a higher level of aspiration, you will be constantly in search of what? Bettering yourself until you get the right teacher, the right situation, and you do the right things for yourself. The focus you're going to need here to develop what we call WRIGHT Maya. That means daily practice of Maya, offering what? Righteous action, selfless service, and living a righteous lifestyle. I do those things. I do just that, what they just said. And let me wrap it up. I see the clock. Anyone, well, no, I got something down here I want to get into. In order to follow the idea. Okay, but so in order to truly follow and master the idea of Maya, you must study daily and stay on the path of spiritual awareness, watchful so that no negative behaviors or thoughts will lead you down the other path of what? Unrighteousness, egoism, and patterns that do not draw you back to your earlier or lower states of consciousness. You know what that brings. Don't go back. I use the mouse in the maze concept. When the mouse gets shot, that route that he took when he got shot at the end, stop shot. No matter all the exit routes you take away, he won't go back that way. That's how you should feel about your egoistic lifestyle. I ain't going back that way. I ain't going back. No. So that's the concept. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Right thinkers, may you all, again, live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never let my right thinkers now who understand the epilogue and how to what? Kill the ego and passed away. The death of your ego is important for you to conquer your ego consciousness. You don't kill it, you just control it. Put him in service position and he'll work for you. Your ego is a good servant, a bad leader. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back.